Nice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fisher Protocol, a show where saying The Who is the greatest band of all time is not subjective, but everything else is. Please take a quick second to like, subscribe, and share with your Who-minded friends. The Who is a passion of ours, so this is more of a personal journey, and no money is being made from these videos, so liking and subscribing lets us know you're not alone in Who land. Constructive feedback is always welcome, either in the comments below, or on Twitter or on Instagram at Fisher Protocol, where I spout Who content. Sometimes naughty, sometimes nice, daily. I am Ethan. I'm being joined today by my best Who friend, Tom. We do not claim to be experts, just two guys who like to talk about the greatest rock and roll band of all time, The Who. Hey, Tom, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. What about you, Ethan?
Not a lot. Actually, my life has been very Fisher Protocol centric. And hey, guys, we're doing a list today of what we think are the 10 best Who covers. And I'll try to put like a fancy graphic like right here saying exactly the time that starts, because we're going to talk a little before it. So look out for that time now. Okay, I hope I did that right. But my life has been very Fisher Protocol centric this past week, because Joe McMichael gave us a great interview last week for his, co-writing the Who concert guide. And it's our biggest video ever. We're up over 1,000 views right now on it. So we sent Joe a Fisher Protocol hat, and hopefully we can have him on again. We got some high praise back, especially from Irish Jack, which is, I don't know about you, Tom, but every time we talk about that, it's a little disorienting.
Yes.
It's like
100%.
Yeah. So Irish Jack said this thing to me, and we both have no thing to say, because it's just like, I mean, it's dumbfounding, quite frankly.
Somebody from a different universe knows who we are.
Yeah, and I didn't remember anything that was said in the interview. I have to watch it. I've been getting compliments. But thanks again for Joe. That was a really good time. I love hearing Who stories.
Yes.
All right, let's kick this around a little bit. There has been some Who news, which we have put in a separate video, but we're not going to this time. Let me see. Roger, I guess, gave some interviews about his distillery. And he's got a distillery near his trout farm, which were pretty nice and sweet. But I guess he mentioned, I don't know if it was that interview or not, that he mentioned that if you were walking down the street and you heard the Rolling Stones in a bar, you would think they were a mediocre pub band. I love it.
He's not wrong.
I mean, he's not wrong. You know what I mean? And he says he loves them still. And I guess Rolling Stones fans are getting upset. And, good. Anyway.
But I mean, there's some charm about a mediocre pub band too, where it's relaxed and fun, and they're not taking themselves too seriously or whatever. But like, I've always thought of the Rolling Stones as like by drunks for drunks kind of thing. It's good music. You can't argue with it, but you're not going to sit there and like hold them to a certain level of like musicality or, guitarmanship or something like that.
Yeah, and we've done a whole video on this, right? Just between the Who and the Rolling Stones. And, some people are getting some Rolling Stones people are getting very upset at some Who fans, because it gives some Who fans license to say everything they've always wanted to say, which I've been doing, which has been fun. But I like the Rolling Stones. I've gone into detail why I like that. So, but I'm never not going to call them a mediocre pub band from now on. I mean, Roger Daltrey said it, so there it is.
Yeah, take it up with him.
Yeah, right. So the biggest news I guess we have is on Instagram. Yesterday, Pete Townsend showed us this video of all his vintage gear, and basically said he's working on a complete new remastering of Who's Next and Lifehouse for an anniversary release sometime maybe next year, if he can get it done. And I mean, I didn't think you could squeeze any more juice out of that orange.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he's always at a different place in his life when he listens to something, and maybe it just maybe he has a new vision or a new idea of how it should sound or what it should sound like or any of that stuff. So I just get giddy anytime I see him pop up on Instagram, because he's pretty engaged when he's on there.
Yeah, he totally answers. He totally answers a bunch of questions from people right away.
Yeah,
Right.
he'll go right through the comment section and like answer stuff, and you're like, oh my god, like.
That's crazy. And I think he likes it better if you ask him just life advice questions too. Like you don't even
Yeah.
ask him who questions. You'd be like, hey, I met a girl. Should I ask her out or whatever it is?
Yeah.
But that's exciting. I have my big box of Quadrophenia. After Christmas, I should have my big box of Sellout. So maybe next year I'll have my big box of Who's Next.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you
That'd be
ever
good.
did you ever see that big Lifehouse Chronicles box set that he released?
I never got my hands on it by any means, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think I said before that was at the time where I had to like slow down on the budget.
Yeah.
All right. So that's exciting to look forward to, but the number one idea we get from people, the number one idea that we kicked around is people are interested in knowing what our favorite Who covers are.
Yep.
So we did compile a list. We compiled it quickly. We did make a few ground rules, okay? And it's only one. There's not going to be anything in this list that's related to any Tommy movie or Quadrophenia movie. In fact, I think the best thing to do is like stay away from anything that the Who has played on in any way, even if it's a cover of their own song. Like on this list, I really wanted to put Yvonne Elliman's "I Can't Explain," but I didn't because Pete played guitar on it.
Right.
And there goes Fatboy Slim, Going Out of My Mind, which is also a remix of that. So these are by no means a definitive list. All these lists are subjective. There are so many Who covers out there. There's a lot Tom won on that didn't get on. There's a lot I won on we didn't get on. And we only literally put like the same name for each of us like once or twice on this. So they were the only
there's quite a
shoe
material to pick from.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to play them, see if that little piece of technology works out. Okay, so we're going to start. I liked, and these aren't necessarily countdown, but I'm doing a countdown style, okay? The Overture from Tommy from the Assembled Multitude is my pick for number 10. I don't know if you listened to this one. What'd you think?
Good. Yeah, I'd never heard it actually. It was hadn't come across my radar.
There are many of these types in the 60s, 69, 70, when Tommy was released that came out. And some are good and some are really, really bad. This is the one my dad was into. He gave me. Let's do it for a couple minutes, see if we can get away with that. I think you get the gist there, right?
Yeah,
Right on. Did I give you the list?
I've got the list. I think
What's next?
Petra Hayden, Relax.
Did
If we're
you-
going from, I don't know what order you're going in.
I think that's what I have next. I had Petra Hayden, Relax. Petra Hayden did the Who sings the Who Sell Out in 2005. There was many things about what she did I liked. Hold on a second. On that album, because we reviewed the Who Sell Out recently, we realized that you can't listen to that album and think it's any other thing, right?
Yeah.
So what she did was she just used her voice and nothing but her voice to make all the instruments, and she did the Who Sell Out. She also, other standouts were Odorono and I Can See for Miles, of course, and Sunrise was a big one for me. But I decided to pick Relax because she makes her mouth try to sound like a guitar, and I think it's cool. Let's listen.
Relax and let your mind roll on over all your problems. We try harder and harder trying to get our way. It's a long, long way.
Right, yeah, so there's not too much I can play of these. But
Yeah,
it's
but
really
she
cool.
crushes it.
You have the CD?
I don't have the CD. I've heard it. I've listened to it before. but no, it's incredibly incredible what she did. Like I can't imagine like undertaking that project.
It's a feat of massive proportions, and it's fun to listen to. It's not just like a musical, dexterity test. It's really good.
Yes.
So the David Bowie album Pinups, right? Mm-hmm. It had a couple Who covers, Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere, and I Can't Explain. And I really didn't like them.
Nope.
But this in 2001, this substitute Songs of the Who came out, and I loved his pictures of Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to check this out?
Yeah, I've listened to this, and it's definitely better than like his version of I Can't Explain. I almost put it on the worst covers list, but I respect the man too much to do that.
But the thing is, he does the same thing though, right? He slows it down.
Yeah,
he slows it down. And he's well known for liking the '67 versions of bands like Pink Floyd and the Who more than the later versions of the Who. So let's see if I picked the right spot. I mean, I love that.
Yeah, it's definitely out of the covers he's done, it's the best. The Who.
Totally. The next one is your choice. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Claypool, Lennon Delirium. It's Les Claypool and Sean Lennon together. They have I think they have a couple albums out. Their most recent one was really good. But I was working my way trying to find some fun covers, and I came across this one. And if you're thinking incredible bass players and ode to John Entwistle and stuff, like it only makes sense that Les Claypool would pop up on the list here. I'm sure he has a ton of respect for Entwistle, so I thought it was a pretty solid cover, without it going too overboard or anything like that.
Yeah, and they're really, he does Oysterhead too, and they did Animals, a Pink Floyd cover, which is right up my alley too. So let's check this out. Or not.
Faithful.
It's very faithful, but here's the thing with covers, right? To be a good cover, you have to be faithful, but you also have to add something. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of straight covers didn't make it on this list. Maybe some things that were played at the VH1 Rock Honors sometimes are not here if I wanted to, like Incubus doing I Can't Explain.
Yeah,
it's fine, but there was nothing added to it, in my opinion. So stuff like that didn't really get there.
Yeah, and what's the fun in picking something that's straight across the board?
So are you a Richard Thompson guy? Some people are, some people aren't.
Can't say that I am. Yeah.
I thought it could go either way for you. He's definitely the proto singer, songwriter, journeyman guitarist. He's been doing it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
He's had so many iterations. In 2003, he released this album called 1,000 Years of Popular Music, where he played songs from every decade.
Right.
Even up to including Oops, I Did It Again, which is actually my favorite song on that. But he also did a Legal Matter on it, and I was just a big fan of it.
With time, I know you thought you had me nailed, but I freed my head from your garden rails. Now it's a legal matter, baby. You got me on the run. It's a legal matter, baby. It's a legal matter from now on.
Yeah, I could listen to that kind of stuff all day, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely impressive.
Yeah, no, watching us like bob our head to music isn't the most fun, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so have you heard of Anvil?
I hadn't before this, no.
They had a documentary because they're one of the biggest bands that never made it.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen the documentary.
I think they played some guitars with some questionable adult toys and
Yeah.
things of that nature. I don't know why they didn't make it, but I didn't watch Sons of Anarchy. But the day after an episode aired, where this cover of Slip Kid, it's Anvil and Frankie Perez saying "Slip Kid," you know, inbox filled up. Check this out. Check this out. It really kicks ass. It's really good.
Yep.
It's one of the most under appreciated Who songs, and it's given a pretty kick-ass cover here, and I suggest everyone check it out. Listen to this. That song deserves that cover.
Yep.
That song does not get the credit for being as badass as it is, and I think that's a good cover, especially to watch guys drive around a motorcycle.
Yeah.
With. So, check it out. When did you first see, out of all the Bob O'Reilly, there's so many covers of Bob O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Wolf Mother, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. By the way, this could be a complete Pearl Jam list.
Oh, yeah.
We understand.
100%.
We understand.
Yeah.
When people cover Baba O'Reilly, what are you looking for?
Just the feeling of it more than anything. And I'm always interested in their take on how they handle the synthesizer part. You know, like, could you, like Mr. Big, with Paul Gilbert on guitar, like, he just does the synthesizer on his guitar. But, you're always looking for how they handle that situation, because unless you just use a straight recording, it's pretty difficult.
Can I just say I hate that way people do that synthesizer on guitar? I don't like
Oh,
it.
yeah. No,
I'm not a fan of that. I looked at the Grateful Dead's cover of it, and they kind of do it. Doesn't Pearl Jam even do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, get that thing. Like,
it's tough.
Get the keyboards. I know you have one. Even Widespread Panic, it does the keyboards, and it doesn't, sound, exactly like the synth on the song. But we picked the Blue Man Group's version of Baba O'Reilly.
Yeah.
It totally brought something new to it. It's definitely something I suggest you check out. Let me see if I can get it here.
Yeah, the slap-a-phone. Like, come on, you can't get better than that.
We can watch this for a minute. Now look at them hitting the piano strings. Back when the Blue Man Group was new and exciting.
Yeah.
Let's get it a little bit. And they got the computer there. Guitars.
Don't cry, don't raise your eye. It's only teenage
Yeah.
So what number was that? Was that like 4? 4?
Yeah, we're getting up there.
4?
Yeah, 4, I think.
All right, so
Yep.
I guess we're kind of doing countdown style now. Now this one is a pick of mine. Go figure, right? But you suggested a Sheryl Crow cover of The Who too.
Yeah.
You suggested Squeezebox,
Yep.
and I said, but I really like Behind Blue Eyes, also from the 2001 Substitute, the songs of The Who.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm going to stab you in the eye with this fork. And I said, but we're not in the same room, and my name's Fisher, and it's the Fisher Protocol. And
Exactly.
you said, fair enough. Okay, so it's a straight ahead cover. It does add something different. I don't know what the instrumentation is in the end that makes that whooshing sound. If someone wants to tell me, that would be great. I've always loved this cover. There's lots of covers of Behind Blue Eyes. We might talk about one in another video, maybe.
Yeah.
At some point. But I was really a fan of the Sheryl Crow. What do you think of it?
Love it. Yeah. I mean, I love her in general. So yeah, I was fine when she ended up on this list, I was like, yeah, as long as she's on here, I'm happy, because she's good. She's amazing.
And it's like my grandmother said to me on her deathbed, what kind of asshole doesn't like Sheryl Crow?
Yeah, sounds right.
Right. She was a hip lady. Okay.
Back as hard.
Let's get to it.
My fist twitches, crack it open before I use it and lose my cool.
I love the musicians.
Tell me some bad news before I laugh and act like a fool. And if I swallow anything evil, put your finger down my throat. And if I shiver, please give me.
You get it, but I love the musician she uses.
Imagine like going to see her at a concert and like in the encore, that's what she opens up her encore with. Like, you'd lose your mind.
You lose your mind. As long as all I want to do is coming up next, I'll listen to anything.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so now we get into this the top echelon. We have famous classic rock bands covering other famous classic rock bands, right? You got anything to say about? You want to say what this is?
It's one of my favorite bands, and I remember back in the day seeing that they were, going to do this cover. It was like a little EP, I think. It was like 4 or 5 songs, and 2 of the songs were it was Young Man Blues and The Seeker. So this The Seeker from Rush is definitely one of my favorite covers. I think that's a band across the board where everybody in that band idolized The Who in some way, shape, or form. And you can tell just by who they are and what they, how they played their instruments, that The Who is definitely high on their list of people they admired and cared about.
And I like the fact that they picked, obviously, from a very specific era. They obviously love Live at Leeds, but, The Seeker is so close to being released after that.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a straight ahead cover, but you can't mistake the fact that this is in fact Rush.
Yeah, Geddy Lee's not gonna change his voice. Like, it's Rush. There's only one.
All right, there's no way that's going to get passed through, so everyone should go listen to Rush. See that? There's no way they're going to let me play that. And I think we have a double header, number 1, right?
Yeah.
The song is Love Reign O'er Me. I threw the hat in for Heart from the Dream Bonetti concert. You threw in Pearl Jam from the VH1 Rock Honors, yeah?
from any Pearl Jam show.
Do they have violins at every Pearl Jam show?
No, I mean definitely that one was a little more, but yeah.
Let's listen to one of them talk about it for a minute and talk about the other one, okay?
Yeah.
Rain on me, turn to the sky. Only love can bring the rain that falls like tears from on high. Rain on me, rain on me. Rain on me, rain on me, rain on me.
All right, so Pipes for Days
Yeah.
on Ann Wilson there.
I saw her a few years ago, and she still sounded incredible.
Was it just her?
Unreal
Was it
good.
just her?
Yeah, she was solo. She was putting out like a covers album, actually. And she was opening for Jeff Beck. And she blew it away. I was blown away how good she still sounded.
There's a live in Seattle. It's a later Heart album,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and I still listen to that today.
Yeah.
It's all these classic rock jams they do, but it's really thick. The guitars are really thick.
Yep.
It sounds, I guess, from the saddle they grunged it up a little. I don't know what it is, but like when they go straight into like straight on, I mean, it's just amazing. They're amazing. I know they fancy themselves a Led Zeppelin cover band. You know what I mean?
Their version of Stairway to Heaven's better than anything Led Zeppelin ever did with it.
You're not wrong. But, this was the version I put in, but you put in Pearl Jam, and I'm like, let me go back to this Pearl Jam well, because Pearl Jam isn't necessarily my favorite well, but I know we share the same common appreciation
Yes.
for The Who. As far as the VH1 Rock Honors go, it wasn't my favorite all around every night of watching Who stuff. I guess my expectations were too high. It was sometime after Concert 9, whatever. Pearl Jam was the clear winner that night. By far, I think Tenacious D was fun to watch. You know what I mean?
Always enjoyable.
Adam Sandler was a little weird. Whatever the Foo Fighters did, I thought was very plain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chris Cornell did not have a good night that night. But, man, Pearl Jam, you could tell these guys loved The Who. You could tell they loved Quadrophenia. And you could tell that this was their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Definitely.
you've seen them live before, yeah?
Yeah, I saw them in Baltimore. It was the first time they'd ever played Baltimore. And I remember, like, a friend had an extra ticket and he asked me to go. I was like, yeah, I'll go see. Like, I sort of like Pearl Jam. Like, I walked out of that stadium, like, a much bigger fan than I walked in. But yeah, about 3/4 of the way through that show, the lights kind of go down and you just hear the piano. And I was like, no way. Really? Are they going to do it? And then, like, they hit, they keep noodling around at the beginning of Love Rain on Me. And I was like, get the fuck out. They're going to do this. I mean, their bank of songs they can pick from every night's probably in the, 70s, 80s, 100s, somewhere up there. So when they pull out Love Rain on Me, I was like, get the fuck out. This is awesome. And they murdered it. I mean, in the best way possible. Just leveled the place with it. So it will always be my favorite Who cover. I think it's made better just knowing how genuinely how much he loves the Who.
Yeah, but also if you watch that, they do right away. They do the real me. They go right into the real me.
Yeah.
And you can just tell it from the rest of the band too.
Yeah.
And he leads it, and it's great. It totally it captures everything you want to cover to capture. The other thing I was going to put on here that I didn't was he did a cover. My Morning Jacket did a quick one.
Yeah,
And
I would put that on the list.
And he came on with that, right? And you know, he comes on in Fringe with double tambourines, right?
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's an amazing cover as well.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's a ton that didn't make it. I'm kind of sick of My Generation, so nothing. My Generation didn't really make it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's another list coming. I don't know. We do have some honorable mentions, right?
Yeah.
Let's see who is next. This one was really weird because I couldn't find a big video of it. Let's take a quick look. It's not a Who cover. Technically, it's Eddie Vedder doing Give Blood, right?
Yeah, and he had just played Ohana Fest or whatever it was out in Hawaii. I mean, this was within the last month this video came out. One of my favorite Pete Townsend songs ever. Done very well.
Let's check it out. He's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
He's having so much fun.
And I can't remember what the story is behind it, but somebody pulled out and he had to like fill in the set. Some band pulled out and he's like, all right, cool. Like, I'll get a group together and we'll just have fun and play music. And that was like that group right there. And like, come on, like you can just pick up and cover that song.
I think I read the list of people that were in the band. I think it was all ringers. I think it was all people that would be able to pick that up right away.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, obviously they're professional musicians, but at the same time, it's not like can't explain where like, yeah, there's
Well,
three
if you
chords.
ask me to play, I can explain. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can do that.
I was talking to some people on Twitter this week. I was like, I think I'm going to give Guitar and Pen a try. They're like, you should do it.
Yeah.
And then I listened to Guitar and Pen. I was like, I'm good.
Yep.
I love it, but I can't do it. This is one of the ones I really wanted to put on here. It's a bit esoteric, maybe, for this, but it's Michael Hedges doing Eminence Front.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just threw this in at the end. I didn't tell you about it. Sorry.
That's all right.
Let's just check it out. Have you heard this before?
No.
Girl, smile. People forget. Snowpacks as the ski tracks. People forget. Forget the hiding behind an evidence front. It's an evidence front to put on.
I like that tone, man. I like him.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah. And you know, this guy, we've mentioned him before. I think we've
Yeah.
tried to touch base. You know, this is not really a cover. This is someone playing along to something in their kitchen. Obviously a big Who John Entwistle fan. I only know two people that can play the bass solo for Dreamin' from the Waist.
Yeah, no, I get it. And this guy, I don't know what the hell he's playing through as far as equipment, but he absolutely nails John's sound.
So
And it's
I think
unbelievable.
His name is Jonathan Campagna, and it's his version from YouTube of Dreamin' from the Waist. We'll give it a little run through.
Wanna jump while I heat up the cool down.
My God, dude.
Yeah, if I'm starting a Who cover band, that's the first guy I'm calling.
That's amazing. That's the best Who cover. That's the best Who cover. Well, man, thanks for coming. I think this was a fairly okay list. We didn't do the SmackDown. This is the automatic best list ever. Tried to keep it pretty positive.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we won't keep it so positive. I don't know. Again, please. We're moving up with the subscriptions and the likes and the whatnot. So please, if you like Who stuff, we'll try to keep it going fresh. Apparently, we're going to have Who content for coming up. We have Roger might go on tour, and Pete I thought he was doing something solo. I guess he's doing a big Lifehouse Who's Next experiment. Hopefully, when everything continues to die down, maybe we'll get some live shows. Who knows? The ultimate dream is to get the show. Me and Tom in a car driving for 8 hours talking to you about the Who. I know you guys can't wait for that. But hey, thanks, and we'll see you next time.